Back to the show surrounding Mayor Adams' inner circle. Joining me now to talk more about all of this and much more are the two members of this week's Consultants Corner, Republican consultant Chapin Fay. Also joining me tonight is Democratic consultant Chris Cook, who is currently working on former CNN host John Avlon's bid for a congressional seat in Suffolk County. Thank you both for being here. So it seems like literally every day we find out somebody in the Adams administration is either under investigation, had their phones visited by the FBI, had their phones seized, or quit their job altogether, as we saw today with the city health commissioner. So Eric, I'll start with you. How bad is this for Mayor Adams right now?
Well, I mean, obviously it's not good, and there's two things that are happening here. There's the sort of political problems, re-election next year. There's already a pretty crowded field. And then there's the government aspect of it, which is probably more important, which is the sort of everyday structure of the city, how things are happening. Look, there's a lot of important things happening at City Hall right now. We have the City of Yes, which is a transformative policy or set of policies that'll revamp housing, fix the housing crisis. That's going through the process right now. That's something that takes like the full force and power of government to try and get through city council, through community boards and things like that. So this is how, when when these investigations are happening, this is how the political sort of bleeds into the government. And it's, you've got, a situation where you're trying to get something done while you've got all these other distractions. So, the mayor has a lot on his plate, and all these agencies that are doing lots of different work, whether it's, the NYPD, fire, city planning, like people that are doing City of Yes. There's a lot of different balls in the air right now, and hopefully the distractions aren't going to prevent people from, doing the everyday structure of the city.
Right. Well, and if people start jumping ship, I mean, that becomes a big problem. We already saw Lisa Zornberg, the chief counsel, a week ago, jump ship on a Saturday night, which was, that's its whole own issue, because she obviously was giving him advice that he apparently wasn't following. But, there are plenty of distractions at this point, in spite of what the mayor said.
Yeah, people jumping ship is obviously a problem, but I think he needs to make these decisions too and show people that he's, cooperating or not guilty or, moving forward. So in this country, we have, you're innocent until proven guilty, but there is no due process of the court of public opinion, right? So he needs to create a plan and execute it. He needs to fire people who, are doing the wrong thing. He needs to hire a strong team, and he needs to be constantly, per Eric's point, all the things the city is doing. And I may disagree with everything, they're doing, including the City of Yes, but, he won an election and he gets to do it, and he needs to be out there doing it. And it seems to me like the mayor doesn't have a vision, right? Giuliani had a vision. You can disagree with it. Bloomberg had a vision for the city. De Blasio, I disagree with almost everything the man stood for, but he stood for something. And he won an election, he got to execute his vision. This mayor seems to be lurching from issue to issue, problem to problem. It doesn't seem like his cabinet members and agencies are executing one vision. Maybe they're trying to, but there's just so many distractions. He really needs to cut through that. He needs to show people that he's doing the work of the people and that he's taking care of the bad apples and rooting out the corruption. He really needs to step up. I just think he's in reactive mode. A lot of people and clients in crisis mode want to jump under the table until the problem blows over, but it never does blow over. And then the last point I will make is he's really in grave political danger. I kind of equate it to what happened to Governor Cuomo, right? It was a little bit of a different case, but he just wound up having too many fronts opened up. There were too many investigations. There were too many battles to be fought. And I think Mayor Adams is maybe not there right now, but getting very close to just not being able to govern because of the investigations, and that will be the end of him.
Yeah, in terms of crisis communications, if you're advising Mayor Adams, what do you tell him to do right now? He seems to be taking the tack that he's just going to sort of plow forward, business as usual, we're getting stuff done for the city.
That might be the only way through it, is to just basically go through it. You're the mayor of New York City. It's the most important city in the country and one of the most important cities in the world. If we're not doing the, A, B, and C's of just functioning the government and the things that have to happen, the garbage, all the sort of things that we notice, that's just what you have to do. And if you're not just going to go through it, then you have to, there could be like another track you take. But at the end of the day, the mayor of New York is the mayor of New York. The buck stops there, and he has to do the job.
But if he's not actually, and what we know of these most recent investigations, and there appear to be several of them, involving Tim Pearson and the police commissioner, who of course has now resigned, and David Banks and Banks, they don't seem to, as far as we know, touch the mayor himself, right? So he can sort of create some distance, it seems, from some of these actors. Maybe they're bad apples, as you called them, but the mayor hasn't gotten rid of anybody, right? I mean, because he seems to be so loyal to these people. I mean, should he maybe cut ties?
I mean, the mayor, one of his traits is he's always talked about it. He's loyal to his people. He brought them to City Hall. He brought some of these people to City Hall who we knew had some ethical clouds over them before. And to Chapin's point, there's probably going to be a certain time where he's going to have to decide between the loyalty to the people he's brought and the sort of functionality of his government.
Okay. I was just going to say, I mean, he needs to be loyal to the people of the city of New York. Those are his constituents. Those are the people he has a responsibility to. He doesn't have any responsibility to the people that he appoints. They have a responsibility to him, and he has a responsibility to the people. Right? I'm not ready to say that he's, a crook and needs to be thrown out. The investigations have to play out, but he needs to act like he's working for the people, not for his friends.
All right. Hang tight. We got a lot more to talk about. I will have more with these consultants.